Hello and welcome. I am so glad you're here. I'm Beth, a creator-based coach with CMH Coaching for Life. I'm here today to help you and those you love create a life you feel grounded and at home in. Think of a life where you feel peace, love for those around you, and in a flow with just enough challenge to keep you happy and creating something wonderful. Sounds like magic, but it's not. You can create that life every single day. You can have a life full of love, excitement, hope, and creation. Our mission at CMH Coaching is to flood the earth with light through compassion, mindfulness, and hope. And I'm going to ask a favor of you. If you like what you see and hear today, think of someone you know that would enjoy and benefit from this message. Our mission is to flood the world with compassion, mindfulness, and hope. Share this with them. But for now, this is time just for you. So settle into whatever you're doing and enjoy this time with the girls, where we create that one awesome, amazing, perfect life every one of us is seeking.
You gotta watch your thinking. Watch your thinking. Watch your thinking.
I didn't realize how long I felt bad, but I got sick about almost 2 weeks ago now. And just today I woke up and I'm like, oh, there you are. It was really nice.
It
I
feels
just
good,
thought that's
right?
who I was now, but no, just feel better. Yeah, it's good. How are you guys?
Good.
Hanging in there.
Hanging in there. Yeah.
How about you, JC?
Yeah, I had a migraine yesterday, and
Oh.
so I've never drank, so I don't know what a hangover feels like, but I told my husband this morning, I said, I feel like if I were to ever have a hangover, that this is what it would feel like, because
Yeah.
it's still just
It's like
just a
that
touch,
fuzzy head
sore.
aching.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay, well, y'all can lean on each of you have one shoulder because I feel good today.
Yay, good.
We're good. Next time I'll lean on you. I've been leaning on you the last couple of weeks, but this is good. So, but it's perfect that you have a hangover and that you're because we're talking about self-care, right? All month long, we're talking about self-care, about why it's important and about what we can do. So when you have a migraine hangover, has that happened in the past? What do you do to take care of yourself?
I'm usually more kind when I have the migraine, because when it sets me down, well, because I can't do anything.
Uh-huh.
So I just choose to lay there and do nothing and have Hallmark playing in the background, and
Mhm.
but I think when I'm coming out of it, that's a great question. I'm not as compassionate, and because I'm like, okay, we should be done. Let's go.
Okay, we're
Move
done
it.
now. Let's do this. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but I did take, like, this morning, in between clients, I did take some time and just sit by the fire and drink some warm tea. And so, yeah, I did do a little self-care. Yay, yay me.
Good. Yes. Go you. Go you.
Yeah.
I know I did a lot of self-care the last couple of weeks being sick, took care of myself with warm baths or herbs or remedies or trying to be patient. That's one of my practices that I'm working on. Just that idea of being like, I think last week, Jacine, didn't you say the gift of presence? Weren't you talking about that?
Yeah, the gift of presence. Yeah.
The gift of, just to be present where I was, because I found, especially when I was sick, if I was impatient and upset that I was sick, I felt way worse than if I was just present with where I was, And it was better with a Hallmark movie. I'm all in with you on that. Or with online shopping. I didn't buy anything, but I just loved looking at all the pretty things, Yeah, I love looking at pretty things.
I have to laugh at you too, because Hallmark movies would put me in a migraine. So
I know you hate them.
I just cannot handle it.
So what do you go to? What do you go to for self-care when you're not feeling good?
I'll do books and audiobooks. I love certain of my self-meditation stuff just to help me feel good. Just like kind of the more, not the working ones, but just the feel good ones. I do a lot of things like you do, baths. I unfortunately won't eat healthy because I will like feed that emotion with some sugar. It's not something that
More
maybe I need
sugar
to
or
kind of
more
have.
carbs for you.
Yeah, but you know what? I was sick, and you know what I found that I just loved, and so I gave myself a lot of it, and it was just tomato soup.
Oh yeah.
Aw.
Tomato soup
And
was like my
cheese, grilled cheese sandwiches and tomato soup, right?
it was just like, oh, I just loved it, you know. And I would sit there and hum into my cup, and my husband would laugh.
But I'll bet humming into your cup really made you feel better.
Yeah, I just felt like, oh yeah.
I think
So
we guilt
Okay.
ourselves about
But
self-care.
think about the old commercials, Campbell's soup commercials. They would do that, right? They would like,
good. Yeah.
good. That's what Campbell's soup is, good, right? I have all those jingles like in my brain from childhood. So yes,
Yeah, I know. Plop, plop, fizz, fizz. I'm in there. I know them too. Well, what do you do for self-care then that might prevent migraines or keep you from getting sick or just help life flow better, make you a better at your life purpose? Do you have self-care routines built in?
I do. So when I felt it coming on, I felt it. I was actually at church, and yeah, and I knew that I was just feeling a lot of pressure in my head at that point. And so instead of trying to actively participate in the class, I really just kind of allowed myself to sit back, even though I'm in a leadership role in that. I was able to turn that over. And I think in times past, I would, again, push, 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 push through it, push through it, push through it. But I don't think that does anybody I think it's a disservice to everyone, not just to myself, but to the others who are there, especially to my husband when I come home.
Well,
yeah.
And it feels like a backward law. It feels like another one of those backward laws that if we stop pushing to feel better, we feel better. You know, when we relax into it and we let ourselves be in it, that we get better faster. Good for you, Jason.
And I did get better faster. Yeah. Yes. It's not a 2 or a 3 day thing. And normally they aren't anymore, which is nice.
Yeah. That's fantastic. It sounds like you're doing better.
Yeah.
Do you have things that you do to prevent migraines? For me, they look like stress relief, self-care, and balance. That for me I used to get migraines all the time, but not anymore. But I just wondered if you had anything.
My biggie is, and we discussed this on our Jumpstart session on Saturday,
which was amazing.
Oh my
gosh,
the whole
so good.
The inspired goals, the meditation, it was. If you guys
still
haven't
humming
watched
from that, yes.
Yeah, go watch it. It was like insanely incredible.
Such a good one.
Yeah, just being able to, for prevention stuff, mine is more of it was caused by an auto accident several years ago. And I don't feel a lot of it coming on. However, I do know if I don't eat at prescribed times, that is a huge trigger. So it won't happen often. It's like if I miss it 2 or 3 times, then my brain, it's a trigger. Yeah.
So part of your self-care is when and how you choose to eat.
Yeah. and absolutely 100% what I choose to eat. Yeah.
Okay.
I have to be very, very cautious on all those counts. Yeah.
Yeah. That's good self-care. What about you, Jen? Do you have stuff that you do?
I have stuff that I'm creating because I've come to some understandings about myself. And a lot of it is because, when you learn something and you realize, oh, that would be very beneficial for me. So I love to live in the seasons, but I also during the winter seem to go through that kind of like that sadness that you can kind of
hibernation time.
Yeah, I realize it's because I will hole up in my house,
Mhm.
you know, and we do know that we do need sun, you know, and of course I keep talking about Dr. Andrew Huberman, the neuroscientist, but he like talks about how you need that bright sun in the morning to set your sleep clock, but also help your brain in its mood cycles.
Yeah.
So I'm like, well, you know these things, but now I'm like, aha, I'm going to implement that as part of my self-care. And I mean, sometimes it's too cold to go outside, but you can go outside for 5 minutes and just put your face in the sun.
Yeah.
He says it's great if you combine it with exercise, because then you're getting even more for your brain. But I'm like, that also is really just get you out in fresh air and get you out of the house.
Mhm.
So I'm gonna be doing that. I need sun in the morning, that exposure, that light, kind of like that light therapy. And I even because we will have days when we will be cloudy and things like that. So I got me one of those lumens lamp, you know, so like I can have the sun. And so I'm doing that as a self-care project.
Yeah.
And kind of see if it will shift kind of how I am this winter.
Yeah.
So.
I love that. I love that. Yeah. I like to go out in my garden and putter in the garden in the winter. I love going in the winter because there are no snakes in the garden in the winter. And I do not like snakes at all. And so I know I can move around out there all I want and not watch my feet, you know? But it's one of my favorite things, pruning the trees and taking care of things that need to be cleaned out, you know, and just working out there on the good days. We have a lot of really pretty days in the wintertime here. So it's really fun.
And we don't. So
yeah, well, we're fixing to put in our spring garden next month. So I'm just working on cleaning out and getting ready to put in the greens and all the lettuce and all of the, you know, all of the spring stuff. Yeah. But that is great self-care for me. And then it grows good food, which is another benefit of self-care. But what about, do you guys have self-care practices that you routinely try to implement and keep putting on the back burner? Because I do. Do you? Because that's what we're going to talk about a little bit, is how to get them back on the front burner and what we're going to do with that. Everybody's heard my poor, sad meditation story. What's your story like? You have something you'd really like to have happen, but it's not happened yet for self-care?
Mine goes in waves. And this is what I would like to be more consistent with, is just healthy dinners and healthy. I mean, like I can eat a healthy breakfast, I can eat a healthy lunch, but it's the dinners that just kind of seem to get sabotaged. And a lot of it is because both my husband and I are tired and we're like, cheese and crackers, great, let's go to bed, you know, type thing.
Give me a bowl of cereal, I'm done with this day.
Exactly. So I'm like, I kind of want that to be more. And it seems like I'll go in periods of being able to do it, and then something will happen. And I mean, I know they're excuses, but I want to learn how to navigate those things, because when the holidays rolled around, it just sabotaged our good eating. Yeah. Because we all of a sudden just like, let's just junk it, you know? So trying to get back into that, I want to do that self-care, because if I eat well, then I have more energy the next day. I mean, it's common.
It's a positive self-perpetuating thing. The more you eat well, the more you eat well. You just keep going. Yeah.
So, and you even sleep better when you eat well. So I'm just like,
everything works better. Your hair is better. Your nails grow faster. Your body aches less. It makes a huge difference.
You're nicer.
You're way nicer when you eat well. Yeah.
So mine is really along the same lines, Jen. And you know, I've got some really good tips that have helped me to, because we do get into decision fatigue. That is a real thing. Decision fatigue. At the end of the day, we've been good all day long, and then you're driving home and you have willpower. Yeah. And you see that pizza parlor and you're like, oh, I'm just too tired to make dinner. I'm just going to grab pizza, or I'm just going to grab McDonald's, or I'm going to grab whatever, right? Because it's just like, I can't physically make another decision today.
We moved to where there's nobody delivers to where we moved. We're so remote. Nobody delivers. So we thought I thought this is great. It's going to force me to do this. And now it's like I said, cheese and crackers, great chips. Let's go to bed, So now I'm like, I gotta
Well,
do
this is a good thing. The idea of working on food. Yes.
Yeah, so that's what I'm reworking on, because we had so much company over the holidays, and you've got kids and you've got family and it's taking so much, and I didn't take time to and maybe that's why, just coming down from that rush, maybe that's why I ended up with the migraine, because I wasn't on
That could be.
on that schedule that's best for me, that I know my body loves, my spirit loves, everything loves. And so just writing down and having a plan the night before for what I'm going to eat the next day. Same thing, like putting out my clothes. I've done that for years, and I think that was something my mom just taught us, and it was ingrained in me. But
Putting your workout
just
clothes the night before, your chance of
yeah.
working out is so much higher. Yeah.
So I don't have to make all those decisions first thing in the morning. I already know what that's going to look like. I know I can look at my menu from that I planned on the day before, and then I can forget about it. And half the time it's like, oh, dinner. Oh yeah, what am I having for? Oh, okay, that's right. I have that in the fridge. I have this. I have that. So it makes it so much easier to do that. But I'm trying, like you, Jen, I'm trying to get back in that.
into it. Yeah.
Back into it.
And
Yeah.
it's so easy. Don't you find it so easy to just like take a left turn and be like, oh yeah, it'll be fun, easy. I can find my way back, but it's stinking hard for me.
It is hard for me too.
One of the things that helps me stay with it when I make the decision to do it is to declare it to somebody, to share it and to say, I'm doing this. Just saying it out loud. But if I say it to somebody who I value their opinion, there's a lot more chance that I will do it. I have to externalize it, right? Declare it and make it and get that group support for it. Yeah. That makes
almost have accountability.
The accountability. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Or else it's the same way. It's too easy to just slide and make that shift.
And that's where you have to kind of go in, because I have that I can do it myself, everything. I've been that kid. My mom was like, let me teach you how to tie your shoes. I can do it myself. Everything was, I can do it myself, right? So that is something that I struggle with, is actually reaching out and saying, hey,
yeah.
But I know it works. I know it works
huge. And if you reach out to your creator and say, hey, that really helps me, because when I reach out and I get that connection and that confirmation, I think twice before I break that commitment. Yeah. That makes a big difference. But yeah, that willingness for outside support can be a struggle.
And sometimes when we reach out to our creator, he says, hey, you should contact so-and-so.
They could help you. That's right.
Help you. Yeah.
That's right. Well, that Jumpstart we had on Saturday was inspired goal setting. And I realized when we were doing the inspired goal setting on Saturday that it worked really well for self-care stuff too. You want to run through and hear how it works? It's cool. It's really cool. Okay. So, inspired, the I in inspired is immediate. So you just had the migraine. You have this immediate need, right?
Mm-hmm.
For self-care. And so for me, that's just a real big, especially after I used my jeans don't fit after the holidays. I felt a very immediate need when I went to button the button, but it's immediate. And then the N is the narrow. So you would take your self-care goal or the self-care that you want to do. Let's take one. Let's just take one and play with it a little bit. What's a good one to play with? And it's not meditation. We're not talking about that anymore. What else should we talk about?
Eating healthy, doing a dinner. Eating healthy.
Okay, let's do eating healthy and making those dietary changes. So we know we have the immediate need of either the blue jeans or the low energy or the headaches or just that
or all the things.
Yeah, the whole thing. So we got the immediate, narrowing it down. So we want to eat healthy. we're going to narrow down how we're going to eat healthy. And both of you already brought up some good ideas about that. You're going to outside support. You're going to plan the night before. I really like to plan on Sunday. We have a theme. Monday is Mexican. Tuesday is meatless. Wednesday is Italian. Thursday is Chinese. Friday is fish. Saturday is grill. And Sunday is comfort food. And so if I've got the themes down, that makes it really quick to pull up something that we're going to eat and then write it down. And then I've got the plan for the week, kind of like you guys. So we've narrowed it. I-N narrow, S, strong. Why would we want a strong? What would be strong about doing dinners? What strong reason would we have for that?
All the things that we listed before, you know, energy, good sleep, healthier, nicer the next day, all this stuff.
Yep, lots of strong. And I don't have as much guilt in my life because I'm better at everything, which that's a big deal for me. That's strong, you know. Then precise. How are we going to do it? Figured it out, right? JC, you figured it out. Jen, how are you going to do it? Precisely. What's that look like?
Well, to me, I'm backing up. I'm like, first, I'm going to have to make a food plan, which I have had done before. Your food plan, because what are we going to, like you did, you had your themes. What are we going to do? Buy the food. And I actually like to do sometimes batch cooking or batch making.
I love batch cooking too.
I love leftovers. Yeah.
I can just grab it out. I can just grab it out. So I have to make a plan. So that's got to be what I need to do. I need to plan. Then I can follow it.
Which means you kind of need time to plan. So you might want to back it up one more step and identify, when will I do that? When will I make that plan in your precision? Then the inspired, so I-N.S.P.I.R.E.D, I again, meaning we've checked in with our creator. We've had that ask, you know, is there something more that I want to know? Is there something more that I need for support? And we've listened to find out what our creator has to say, what kind of inspiration comes. And then R, realistic. Okay, I just have to tell you, we have those nights planned, right? Mondays Mexican, Tuesdays meatless, Wednesdays Italian. Do we do that every single week? It's just not
life
realistic.
happens, right?
Yeah,
life
happens.
Life. Yeah.
Yeah. And so is it a reachable inspired goal? Yeah, it is to have those. Is it a realistic? Yeah, it is. But it's realistic in that it's maybe 80-20. It doesn't have to be perfect, right?
Yeah.
And then my favorite, these are my two favorites. E, inspired. The E is experienced. Okay, so let's just try this with the food thing. When in your life previously have you had an experience where it's gone really well in this area in your life? Can you remember? Take that energy and that memory and bring it to right now. And just when you just take it and move it to right now, and you like, what can I learn from that? What did it feel like? Can I bring those feelings forward to right now? Oh my goodness, I really can do this. I've done it before. I can do it now. I can just feel a shift in lightness just in bringing it. Does that resonate with y'all? Is that something?
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Yeah. If you can pull up something from before where you've experienced success, or you've experienced something about this area that you can bring to the present, it can be really good. And then declared, which is where we started. That's the D. Inspired, declared was self-care. I just was doing a blog entry for this morning, and it came to me while I was doing the blog entry. I didn't even think about it, but when I made the commitment last year that I was going to get a massage every month, I didn't declare it formally to the world. But what I did do was I went and I paid for 12 massages on the first of the year.
Perfect.
That's
And so it was like declaring it. I made the commitment and I did it. I used 8. I still have 4 to carry over this year, but it was way better than if I hadn't done it at all, you know? So inspired self-care. What other places of self-care could we use it besides our food?
I think an important part is when you do have these moments when life there's the bump.
The
I
bump.
think it's important to have like the self-care be the self-compassion. You can help yourself walk through the possible disappointment because you're not on track, or, the guilt because you feel like you've let everything go, and, just kind of work yourself through that and just let yourself know, hey, hon, this is just a rough patch. Let's give yourself some grace and let's just weather it, and do
Yeah, don't give up.
Yeah, maybe the I.N.S.P.I.R.E.D can work through something like that.
Yeah, I think you really could. I like that application a lot. That'd be, well, why is self-care important in the first place? I mean, why do we even want it? Why couldn't we just skate through life as we want to?
I just think about traveling, because I travel a lot, or have in the past traveled a lot for work. And just, you get on the airplane, and that first thing that they're teaching you is, when that mask comes down, that oxygen mask, put it on yourself. If you don't take care of yourself, you are not going to be able to take care of others. And if you guys don't believe it, there are some really, really cool videos on YouTube where they have pilots that do this. That's part of their training, to know how long you can go without oxygen. And
Oh, really?
it's so amazing. I mean, these are people that they're in great shape, all this kind of stuff, all the things that we tell ourselves, oh, that won't affect me. Blah, blah, blah. I can hold my breath in water, whatever. No, it's a real thing. And they actually have some video footage of it on YouTube. It's really incredible to watch. But it is our oxygen mask, right? That self-care is our oxygen mask. And like I was saying, if I don't take care of me, then if Mama's not happy, nobody's happy. Yeah, nobody's happy.
It's the truth. And I actually, if I opt out of my self-care, I'm putting it on somebody else to take care of me.
Ooh,
it's
that feels wrong.
Yeah. Well, and I've thought about it when we start thinking about retirement. And if you're not taking care of your body when you're in the middle of your life, and you're not doing your self-care in the middle of your life, somebody will have to take care of you at the end of your life, because you will have rusted, or whatever happens to you when you don't take care of yourself, right? So it's a way of showing my kids that I love them and I value them by taking care of me.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, I really like that. Or just showing anybody that you love them. When you have littles, if you're eating well, it's an expression of that you love them, because then you can take care of them because your oxygen mask is on, just like you said. So it's kind of backward, but it's really truth. Everybody needs self-care. Yeah, absolutely. And inspired self-care is even better, right? When you've got your creator in on it, that's pretty amazing. So Jen, you gonna do some healthy eating this week?
I'm gonna do my hardest.
Gonna do my best. That's all one can do, right?
No, yeah, I do. I need to make a plan. I need to sit and plan, have the time to plan it out, shop it, and do what I've done in the past. It's been successful, like the batch cooking and the batch making.
Mm-hmm.
But be kind to yourself in the
Absolutely.
meantime.
The
mindful self-compassion, right? Treat yourself like you would your best friend. Yeah, I love it. Other places that are good to get self-care. How about the 50/50 Girl Club? What do you think, Jacine?
Yeah, I'm a fan. 50/50 Girl Club. It's such a great community where we've got members who support one another. And actually, I was texting with a friend who's on the 50/50 Girl page, and she wasn't able to make the Jumpstart workshop, but she was able to watch it because you posted the recording on the 50/50 page. And she just was like, oh my gosh, I needed that so much. And, just took the time. And I know she's going to be reaching out to Jen to get some additional positive vibes and help. And yeah, just it's just an incredible place to go and learn, and to be filled and inspired, and really tap into who you are, which is really what we want, right? We
Yeah,
want that.
it's the core of self-care.
You know what I have found is a big part of my self-care is the coach and clear. And I didn't realize it would be, but it's opportunity for that wonderful hour to just really like come to terms and release some baggage. And we all have it. It doesn't matter how much work you've done. There's always more that you can like release. And so I have found in the past months that has been such a large part of my self-care. I feel so much better the rest of the week when I do coach and clear with you.
And I love it that it's every week, that we have that constant in our life, that we can just show up again and know there's my stress relief. I've got my hour, I've got my people, I've got my support, I've got my stress release. And then, like you, and then you walk out and you just feel better. The world is brighter and better. Yeah, I love it.
I always feel more solid, more grounded after it.
Yeah, centered and grounded.
Mm-hmm.
I agree. And the book club, the Miracle Morning, that book has been so fun. I really didn't expect much out of it when I started it. I started reading it and I had to just not roll my eyes. I'm like, oh, it's one of those books.
Yep.
But I stayed and I went through the first few pages and I'm like, oh, well, that makes good sense. And the next few pages, oh, well, yeah, hadn't thought about it that way. And then just kept going. And I've just been plowing through it, really enjoying it. Really, it's a great recommendation. Yeah.
We have 2 more weeks of book club for the Miracle Morning. So join us, even if you haven't read the book. We have some really great conversations.
Yeah, and that's on 50/50 Girl Club as well. It's wonderful. And then, sorry,
where are we supposed to be in the book come Wednesday?
We are finishing through chapter 5.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. And then the last thing is the next Jumpstart. Jen, do you remember what the next Jumpstart is for February?
I don't remember the title, but it's easing, I think, stress and anxiety or actually creating calm and peace through doodling and draw and coloring. Yes.
I picked it for you, Tacine, because I knew how excited you were about creating peace and calm with drawing and doodling. Can you tell us just a little bit about it? Because I'm fascinated by this.
Yes. So I'm going to teach you a technique where you can do the doodling one. You can do whenever, even if you're like in a meeting or someplace on a plane or someplace where you just really possibly can't do tapping or meditation, and walk you through steps where you help identify what you want to work on and release, and you start to release it through doodling and your thoughts and doodling. It's so fascinating. It's so fascinating. And I can't remember the woman's name, but I'll definitely have it for the Jumpstart. So you know that this is the woman who presented it. And so, yeah. And then we'll have I'm possibly working on another one where it's through drawing, just kind of not consciously, by just picking up whatever color you just feel like in drawing, and what your art, what your scribbles and everything can tell you about what's going on internally. So,
oh, I like it.
Yeah. So a little bit of color theory with that one, but
yes. Yeah. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Well, there it is. Lots and lots of inspired self-care, right? And lots of places to declare what we're going to do and get friends to help us stay on track. Going to be a good week, y'all. Going to be a good week. So till next time. Yeah.
Yeah.
Any final thoughts? Any final inspirations?
Be kind to yourself, right? Just remember.
Kind to yourself. Treat yourself like you would your very dearest and closest friend, because you have to live with yourself for a long time.
You do. Yes.
And I know when I don't like myself, those conversations are really uncomfortable. So it's worth it. Take care of you in that relationship. Yeah. Okay. Well then, till next week. Bye, ladies. And bye, 50/50 girls. It was great to be with you.
Choose to be free, moment by moment. It's all up to me, 'cause
Hey, thanks for joining us today in A Creator-Based Life. I hope you felt that compassion, mindfulness, and hope you came seeking today. You can find more of it at cmhcoaching.com or on Linktree/CMHcoaching. Of course, any social media outlet, we're there too. Because you felt the benefit and light in this message, please invite those you care deeply about to join us. Help us to create a ripple effect across the globe of compassion, mindfulness, and hope. Then we can create a creator-based life together. Have a great week, y'all. We'll talk to you soon.
Choose a better way with every little thought I think. And if I wake up with a bad attitude, I just fill my mind with gratitude. I give thanks for everything with every little thought I think. I can choose to be happy, choose to be free, moment by moment. It's all up to me, 'cause what I think about, I bring about. That's the way it is, and there is no doubt. Day by day I pave the way with every little thought I think. Day by day I pave the way with